Hey, it's Lori here with I don't know, just some commentary, I guess, from me. Things I think about and concerned about, and, trying to figure out what the hell it means to be human. I mean, we're souls. What does that mean for our human aspect? What does it really mean? I believe that it means that we are here to experience everything we're experiencing and to learn a lesson from it and to grow. That's why history is important. However, it gets changed periodically. It's always for the winning team, or at least the ones who think they won. And it is about spreading our wings and experiencing everything we possibly can to learn and grow from. It also means to be involved. Spirituality has nothing to do with stepping out of everything. Actually, it means the opposite. It means I am a spirit having a human experience. That means I must be involved. You must be strong enough to be involved and know that you will make mistakes. You'll fall down. You'll get back up. God's always got my back. I always know that. And uh, that's all you really need, to tell you the truth. And then be involved. Involvement means understanding what you're living in and around and within, and hopefully sometimes without. We all need to step out of the matrix to become in tune and aligned. We also have to step back in and make differences. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. We're not meant to be in boxes, and we're not meant to be in hives, hive mind at all. We're gods, for God's sakes. We are meant to become free thinkers, freedom, and to express it and to help others see it in their own way, but to love everybody, not to be divided. We were never meant to be divided. They talk about unity and one mind and all that. Yes, we do belong to a much greater power in the universe. We're an extremely integral part of that power. And through us, that power learns and grows and expands. That's what we're meant to do as well. And what greater way to do it than here on Earth? The 3D. We get to touch and feel and smell and breathe and have sex. Wonderful, beautiful lovemaking. And which is to me the cherry on top of everything. And we're meant to be part of everything because we already are. So when we get caught up in negative thinking and negative behaviors, we fall away from being part of the total whole. We become more of a hole in it somewhere. So we do need to be positive. We do need to be uplifting of others as well. Do we have to be in everybody's life? No. Matter of fact, we don't have to be in anybody's life if we don't want to. I can sit right here in my living room and make tremendous changes to the earth because of what I wish for and hope for and have faith in for the whole world as a total whole, for the greater good of all, not just some, not just for a handful, but for all. There are so many different ideas going around of what Earth is. Is it an Earth? Is it a school? Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I guess you could get back calling it that. Was it meant to be a school? No. It was an experiment. The Earth was an experiment, and it wasn't meant for humans. It was meant for natural, the Earth to grow itself. And it was to see how well it would do on its own and how it would do this and do that. But it was mostly like a petri dish for the greater gods. And somehow our souls managed to find it, got interested, and thought, oh, wow, this looks cool. So let's hang around here for a while. And they come in and out, you know, be a tree for a month or two, maybe 50 years, 1,000 years, who knows. Or a blade of grass or water, you know, a fish, an iguana. That's where all these mythological stories come from. They were real. The Earth did have its own spirits. It was us, but, you know, nobody knew it at the time. So anyway, the thing is that the powerful ones were brought in and asked to help make a human form for us to grow and remember who we were so we could go home. Our souls don't belong here. They belong in heaven or beyond. And yes, there's a beyond heaven. The universe is massive, and it's ever expanding. And the Godhead, which is Source, the Goddess, Source, we call them the Mother and Father Godheads. That aspect that exists in everything, and I mean everything. Nothing can be created without Source. Nothing. So everything, including plastic that I can't stand, and polyester, oh my Lord. Wish they'd scratch that one. But everything is created with the force of Source. Where's the Source? But the thing is that what we need to understand is that the gods and Source, the Most High, understood that we would be going through problems and difficulties and stuff like that, because that's what it kind of takes to get you back to remembering who the heck you are. And religion was created to help us remember who we were. It has been used against us more than it has been used for us. It has been used for more control than it has for our loving, beautiful relationship we already automatically have with Source. It's unconditional love, and it's beyond anything you can imagine. It's peaceful, it's beautiful, it's understanding that all life exists for a reason. And no, you don't have to put up with bad people. That's what we have laws for here and everything else. But you do have to recognize that that's a soul traversing a life path that it chose to try to understand itself more. And let them go in your mind. Bless them and let them go. But as a community of souls worldwide, we are meant to have and be so much more than what we have produced for ourselves. And there's a lot of reasons for it, and I don't think the reasons matter anymore. This is the second time I've tried to make this video. The first one really didn't come out the same way at all. And then I forgot to turn it back on when I had to pause. So, I've had time to think about what I was saying earlier. And what I'm mumbling about, I guess, is you are all an integral part of Source. Ask Source to help you. Ask the angels or aliens, whoever you want to talk to. They're all real, and they'll all be there for you. Our passed on loved ones are in a holding pattern before they come back into a new body. They call it cycling the soul. And we pick different lifetimes, and it is like a school. That's what we're taught. It really has been more like a prison. We should have up and graduated and gone home long before now. So there are a lot of important, high-ranking beings from around the universe that are here right now, trying to help. And every now and then they would send a master to one religion or another and try to help that way. The thing is that it also means that you are a bigger part of the universe than you realize. And there are laws set up to help us with the rulers that are here. Laws that state we have a right to say no. They were supposed to incorporate us in all the changes they wanted to make at any time they want to make a change, so that we would have an input on it, a yay or a nay. Well, they haven't quite done that. That's why I say prison, because they haven't quite done that. They've indirectly put truth out there amongst, say, conspiracy theorists. They'll have several truths and then a couple duds out there, you know, to make them look bad. And, you know, educated people will go, I don't know, you know. And other people are getting on the bandwagon. And they've manipulated New Age spirituality as well. It's really sad. And you need to use your intuition to know what really is the truth. And all truths are valid. So you can have whatever truth you want. However, if you're going for a spiritual growth, that is something I always tell people, you need to experience it. You need to experience the quiet that comes, the silence and the darkness when you meditate. It takes time and it takes practice. But it brings you to a knowing that you are one with everything. And there is no separation. That is the oneness that we all belong to. It's not a computer. It's not a big box in Mecca. It's not a hive mentality at all. It's actually extremely creative and individualized and independent. So allow yourselves time to ponder, if you will, your own truth and seek God deeply. You see, we're meant to embrace our differences and flourish with them and share them with others. And it's those differences that make us beautiful. It's those differences that bring us alive. And yet, with all those differences, we can still look at each other and call each other brother and sister. Because in the bigger scheme of things, that's exactly what we are. That's what Jesus tried to come and teach, was the way to live, how to be like him, because that's what we are, just like him. We just have to find our way. Now, are all religions bad? No. I didn't say any of them are bad. They're incomplete. And I think in many ways, that should have been an eye-opener for a lot of people. That's what it was for me. So I sought God deeply. He was the only one to ever answer my questions. And he did it very thoroughly. So I want you to just take a breather. I always say take 3 deep breaths. And think about it. Think about how you can make a difference in a world that's changing so rapidly, and make it a positive one. Not by bitching and moaning and groaning. I do that a lot with God already. Yeah. I had to stop doing it so I could create the world I wanted. It's not always easy. It's a journey, but it can be a fun journey. Take a look around your world. How can you make a difference for another human being? Take a look at your world, your immediate world, and how can you become something better every day? That's what this is about. It's about our souls learning, growing, expanding, and remembering who we are. And it's about compassion and love, unconditional love. We have to realize that there will be other souls that are living weird, distasteful lives that we wouldn't like. But that's their journey. Just bless them and move on. In other words, we got to give up our judgments, our attitudes, our negativity. We also have a responsibility to keep an eye on our own governments. I heard a government leader on YouTube the other day on a news channel, because I watch different news channels from around the world. And he said, slaves who do not stand up and fight for themselves and their own rights and freedom deserve to suffer. That seems to be the biggest belief of the wealthy. And some are not so wealthy, but their beliefs too. Well, it's fine and dandy as long as there's jobs. Enough jobs to handle the size your country is. Are there? Are we allowing everything to run amok and go downhill for just a few people so they can be the pharaohs of the new future? And we're just the peons. Really? They are herding us like cattle if you dare to step back and look at the bigger picture over the last 40, 50 years. Right now, they're really trying to hurt us. That's why we're having pandemics and such. God promised us 1,000 years of golden years. I asked for 2,000 because we deserve it. We deserve peace. We deserve our children to be able to go outside and run and laugh and cut up with other kids and it be safe. And we have a right to become anything we want to become. If it means becoming a millionaire because we went for the gold, we went for all of it. Cool. But there's nothing wrong with the little guy either, not wanting to. It's okay. Little guy just wants to have enough so he can go home and be happy with his family. When I was out and about with my last job, I traveled a lot. And what I saw going on, even though they were talking about all these horrors and everything going on with people, what I saw was a man standing by his wife in a gaming place, bar. And he had bought her a cocktail and himself 2 beers. And he had 20 some odd dollars left in his pocket. He took it out and gave it to his wife so she could play the slots. Now, I'm not here trying to go, yeah, go play slots, you know, but what I'm trying to say, though, is I saw a man take his last $20 out of his pocket and give it to his wife while he stood there and watched her play, because it put a smile on her face. She liked doing it. What I'm seeing is greater acts of compassion during all this time than I am anything else. So if you dare to get out in the world, sober and clean, no drugs, no alcohol, but dare to get out there and even wander where the poor are, I think you'd be amazed if you had an open heart to see. So what I keep seeing is greater acts of compassion, even with couples. Money might be tight, but they're clinging to each other now more than ever. So I say we bust up the conglomerates in this country and the world. Demand fair wages for fair work, and demand decent housing. And you wouldn't believe some of the countries in this world that do not have proper electric, running water, or toilets, much less the shanties they're expected to live in with a whole family. When you've got billions and zillions of acreage just sitting there doing nothing. So I guess I just wanted to explain what the human experience is meant to be. Unique, well lived. I want to go into heaven sliding into home plate and saying, I fucking did it. Because I think that's what's important. God didn't make us to be little. He didn't make us to be small. He made us so that we would always remember who we were, even if we came through a 3D world with pain and suffering and everything else, and poverty and, winning and losing. And he knew somehow we would remember who we were. And we would stand up and let the powers that be know that we don't like what they're doing. This is what we do want, because we want to grow, we want to live, we want to experience life, we want to create something beautiful for ourselves, our neighborhood, for the world. And God has already forgiven you for anything you might have done. And I mean everything. Because there's no room in God's heart for not loving you at all. The one thing he would like you to do is find a way to love yourself enough to love another more. And not so much your spouse, but the world, maybe. To find a way to be more compassionate and forthwith with good ideas to help people that are down on their luck. Most people don't want a handout unless they're really, really hungry. Most people want a hand, a helping hand, to help them get reestablished in life again. I'm talking about mostly homeless now, in poverty. And then there's going to be a small handful that's all they can relate to. And that's where they're going to stay, and that's their life path. But the ones that want help and are willing to work for it, they should be helped. But the world is turning into something none of us understand. Very few of us kind of get the idea of what's going on. But God can always surprise us right down to the last minute. So put your faith in a higher power, higher than you. However, that's to help carry you, and it will. But it's meant to help you understand your connection to Source, to God, Goddess, all that is, to the universe. So get with it. Help your countries understand what it means to have a democracy, which helps all stations in life advance and grow as they choose. So that's all I got tonight. I just wanted to let you know what it was meant to be a human, a spirit in a human body, a human form, created for the sole factor of helping us remember who we are and for us to go home. So keep up the good work out there, light workers. You're doing a wonderful job holding the tethers. It's been difficult, I know. I've been going through the same things most of you have. And it's not easy. And just keep going. My heart and blessings out to everyone. Have a good night. Lori, out.